Leanne, thanks so much for joining us. Can you sketch the scene? What's happening in that area? And I believe these reports started coming through yesterday already.
Hi Marcel, well for now the area is quiet, but I can tell you that it feels like the calm before the second storm. If I can just show you, you know this area very well. The BP garage on the N2 just outside Nomzamo, you know, is a hive of activity for motorists making their way on the N2. That service station is currently closed. There are reports that the protesters had tried to target that service station yesterday and early this morning. So these protests kicked off yesterday. I'm just going to ask my cameraman Crescendo to dislodge his camera so I can show you what the situation is like at the moment. There's still debris in the road. There's still a heavy smell of burning tires that's lingering in the air. There are rocks, there are rubber bullet shell casings over here. There are children actually picking up these rubber bullets and putting them in bottles and assuming that they're going to play with it. Here are remnants of yesterday's stun grenades that were set off. If you look over here to my right, this is the area that residents had demarcated to set up structures. You can still see about 3 structures here. The red ants had come in yesterday to break down these structures where residents had illegally grabbed land. So I also see a resident of here who's willing to speak to me. I'm just going to get a sense of what the situation is like in the area and what residents actually want. So thank you for joining us. What is the situation here? What are residents calling for?
We want the land. Yeah, what we are looking for is the land, because you know our situation, we are renting. Sometimes on the landlord, it's 5 people or 6 people who are inside the landlord. So we are renting. We need the land. We need to own our place. We don't have a place to sit, because sometimes a landlord has got 5 people, but those 5 people, they got families to support. Maybe got 5 kids, but know that there's no support and there's no, you can't get anything there, because now we need, you know, sometimes the kids when they are playing is fighting inside because we are landlord. But we need to own our place. We need to have the own place of us.
And this is the way the community is getting the attention of government to actually own land.
Exactly. That's why we are doing this, because as you see now, everyone is looking for a place he can own, he or she can own it.
Thank you so much, Marcel. Residents here, as this gentleman has said, just needing or looking for a place they can call their own and a place to call home.
Leanne, as you said, I do know that area very well, and what I do know is that specific spot where you're standing on alongside the N2, a very important arterial road, especially from an economic point of view, and more so with people traveling in and out of Cape Town or into areas where they work. And there's land that has been standing there open for decades, as those who run that area, who run the province, have been trying to figure out how they're going to expand the N2. But at the same time, as we've heard very emotionally there, you've got an expanding population who are just desperate for a place to stay. And one can expect that those emotions are going to continue to spike. Are we hearing anything from government or authorities in that area?
As you rightly put it, Marcel, this is an age-old problem. Residents here in Nomzamo and Lwandle have been fighting for years, and for years have been calling for proper housing, electricity as well. In recent years, they received electricity, but that was after years of not having electricity. There are so many businesses and business parks set up, like the Asler Business Park, just down the road on the N2. But residents here cannot afford to live in just in front of me, a block of apartments that has been set up in recent years. And this is their cry to government to hear them. It's an election here. And instead of politicians coming to them and wooing them for votes and making empty promises, it seems this is a last-ditch attempt by residents not only in the Western Cape and Cape Town, but Alexandra and the other parts of Johannesburg as well, to get the attention of government, and not actually on government's cards, but theirs. So they are setting their own agenda. As it stands now, we've not heard anything from local or provincial government. Alan Winde, the DA's premier candidate, had sent out a statement condemning the Khayelitsha protests that had broken out, but we haven't seen any officials on the ground addressing residents, much like the call from Alexandra residents to speak with Mayor Herman Mashaba. There have been no officials on the ground here in Nomzamo, Khayelitsha or Lwandle.
Leanne Jansen there, our reporter on the scene in the Strand and Somerset West area in the Western Cape, keeping an eye on matters there for us.